Today we are joined by the Palestinian Ambassador to India, Abdullah Shawesh. Our conversation today will cover the humanitarian impact and the role of international actors and any prospect of peacemaking. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, indeed, dear Aakriti.
My first question is that now the second phase of the ceasefire is stated to become next to impossible. Could you share your perspective on how this is impacting the day-to-day lives of the Palestinians? Do they have any shelter especially aimed the harsh winters?
I thank you so much indeed, Aakriti, for having me today. When you mentioned in your introduction West Bank and Gaza, we should, because according again to the international law, it's the occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem and Gaza. This is the international law, and this is my responsibility as the ambassador of Palestine to correct some wording. I know you did not mean it, but again, this is my legal, this is my diplomatic, and this is absolutely my political responsibility to make some correction. When it came to the second phase of the ceasefire, and you used likewise, everyone likewise, us as a Palestinian, enforced to use the word ceasefire. And again, because wording have a meaning, we should stress on this particular issue. When you say ceasefire, this give an impression to your audience, to everyone, that there are two armies fighting against each other, which is not the case in Palestine. It's not the case. There are one army called the Israeli Occupation Army, which is ranked 15 all around the world, fully backed and fully supported by the United States of America. I'm not revealing a secret. And to much extent by many other Western countries. This army, this brutal army, the Occupation Army, is launched a war on Gaza and on the West Bank against the Palestinian people. So that when you say is ceasefire, I know that we have no other option, unfortunately, except to use the word ceasefire, but this is in a very ambiguous, very malicious wording that had been used by the Western governments and the Western, of course, Israel and the Western, many of the Western governments and the media, the complicit media, unfortunately. So that, again, when you say ceasefire, this gives an impression that there are two armies, which is absolutely, utterly not the case. And I already explained this point. When it came to the situation on the ground, I personally, my family, Abu Shawesh family is there. We are refugee in Gaza. I born in a refugee camp. My entire family is there in Gaza, still living in Gaza. And I'm gonna tell you just the story of part of my family. When we talk about this winter, when we talk about the humanitarian aids, the people, my family, my personal family, my relatives, is still going to sleep within a half empty stomachs, to some extent they are still hungry there. When it came to the shelters, you know that, and this is not I'm not revealing a secret here, according to the United Nations and all the respected and the satellite images, that Gaza in ruins. Gaza already destroyed, vast majority of the building, 70%, 80% of it is already completely, utterly destroyed. And many of those, thousands of those buildings, which is not completely collapsed by this winter, just last week, three or four building which is semi-affected by the Israeli bombardment. During the last storm, it was collapsed, and many of the Palestinians who was seeking a shelter in these buildings was already killed under them. When it came to the humanitarian aid, unfortunately, Israel, and according again to the United Nations itself, refused to allow the rescue tents, the rescue teams, the rescue tools that is in desperate, the people there in Gaza in desperate need, refused to let the UNRWA to enter it to Gaza. When it came to the medical issue, hospitals, everything, Israel, when it launched this war, it launched it for one declared purpose, which is to expel the Palestinian people by force, or to convert Gaza to unlivable place, so that if we will not going to live by force, the people should live by their choice, because there is nothing on the ground will going to support their human life.
But post the ceasefire says that there should be about 645 trucks going every day for humanitarian aid. But there was a violation and approximately only 145 reaches every day. But what are the international actors doing here?
You are talking about two aspects. Yes, what is the agreement was this 600 plus a truck that Gaza in a daily piece needed it.
Yes.
But unfortunately, Israel violated it. But another very important violation is to stop killing the Palestinian people, which Israel did not at all stop it or abide by what Israel itself was signed on that what's so-called the ceasefire itself. When it came to the international community, unfortunately, as a son of the international community, as a son of the United Nations, where I spent 8 years, the hub of the decision-making of the international community, the Security Council, General Assembly, and all of this stuff. Again, unfortunately, and I'm not again revealing a secret when I used to say that the international community is selling us as a Palestinian the lip services, which is good, but not sufficient. I mean, they adopted resolutions, hundreds of resolutions adopted in favor of the Palestinian question, in favor of Palestinian people, whether it is in the Security Council or in the United Nations General Assembly or in the United Nations Human Rights Council. But in the ground, Israel is changing, is adopting, it is occupation measures. Israel is ruling the Palestinian people on the ground, so that there is a big difference between what did the international community when it came to them, again, to the international law, to the adopted resolution, accepting and adopting, and of course supporting the Palestinian people. Just 3 days ago, overwhelming of the international community voted in favor of the self-determination of Palestinian people, of course, including India, with many thanks to India. But again, on the ground, we want you in India, in particular, through your camera, through your screens, to know more about us. Thank you so much for that you came today, because we, as a Palestinian, did not have the chance to tell our story, did not have the chance to appear in the screens, especially the Western screens, and to tell part of our story. So that first and foremost, we want you to know more about us. Come to ask us, come to discuss the issue with us, and come with the very tough question. Go to the Israeli embassy itself, bring the question from them, and come to me. I did not want anyone even to send me the question in advance. Corner me. I'm here to tell you our story. This is the first. Second, when it came to the tangible issue, there is tons of ways when we, because if there is a will, there is a way. And if there is a will, and I'm pretty sure when it came to the Indian government, there is a will to help the Palestinian people. And we are in good discussion right now on the way out.
Is there something that you can let us know that is happening between India and Palestine right now?
Between India and Palestine?
Yes.
Well, me in person is in a good... I already started discussing the way out. How could India help the Palestinian in the day after the war? And right now, there is more than one project, and it is way to be implemented with the Palestinian people by the Indian government. But when it came to the individual, yes, there is tons of ways that they can discuss it with us, with my office, with my team, how to support the Palestinian people, and how to make sure that all the support or the medicine, everything that they are going to pledge it or to send it will reach the Palestinian people.
You stated that the reconstruction of Gaza, which is now the topic that everybody is talking about, requires about $57 billion only if Israel allows it.
Yes.
Where is this money going to come from? And is India a part of any discussions where they will help in the reconstruction in any form?
Well, two parts of your question. First and foremost, I declared what did the study that we conducted it in the Palestinian Authority with the fully cooperation with the IMF, World Bank, United Nations, and Europe itself. I mean EU. We come with a basic study that is saying reconstruction, recovery of Gaza, recovery and reconstruction of Gaza is in a need for $57 billion. This is in a basic study, but we still need a lot to talk about it, even once we reach in Gaza and to start digging and searching about the accurate number. I'm pretty sure that there is tons of other problems that will appear, so that this is an initial number. When it came to India role in this particular issue, India likewise India, the very first and the very large democracy worldwide, this big size of population and the area, this political big, heavy weight for India became as a liability and burden, make some burden in India itself. So that I'm pretty sure that the government of India itself will be with us in this particular issue. But
so they're still not with you right now?
No, will be with us. No, I did not say will be on the day after the war, because the war was not declared yet to be end. Israel did not declare that it ended the war. And so that even this, the plan, the recovery and reconstruction plan, one of its main condition is it will be implemented in the day after the war. So that in the day after the war, we are fully confident that India will be with us. But now we are in a good discussion with India, with Indian government, to apply some project, smaller project in Palestine. And they, to be very frank, they are very generous in this particular issue. Even the people themselves, the people of India, I'm not revealing a secret. Many of people, leaders of India, social leaders, political leaders, religious leaders from all around India, I did not mean any significant or any single religion, they are ready to support, and they are looking for a way. And they used to discuss with me way forward how to support and how to help the Palestinian people. What happened during the last 2 years? Completely, utterly shake the international consensus. The people here of India, whom had the chance to watch some or a tip of iceberg of what happened in Palestine, is utterly, completely shocked.
But in
the vast majority of them.
2 years, see, Israel and India have had strong relations as well. So I want to understand that in the last 2 years, what has India been doing that you could share with us, that you could shed a light upon together to help the Palestinians?
Again, yes, India having a good relation with Israel, strong relation, you can call it. Others say more than strong. Others say, I used to say good relation with Israel. And we would like to utilize this good relation, because India having a really good relation with Israel. We would like to utilize this good relation and the influence of His Excellency, of course, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Narendra Modi. He having a personal influence on the fugitive from justice, the Israeli Prime Minister himself, and on Israel at large. And India having a very strong influence when it came to Israel. We would like to utilize it to push step forward for the peace process itself. And I'm pretty sure that India, once we will reach out to them in this particular issue, they will spare no effort to push, of course. And still, India is pushing for the two-state solution, backing the two-state solution. India is still supporting the Palestinian people in the United Nations. The adopted resolution in the United Nations General Assembly. So that, yes. But how could we convert this also, or to take it a step forward? I already mentioned that we are in a good discussion with the Indian government, and small or micro project that can be implemented in Palestine. India right now is building in a very big hospital in Palestine, in Jenin, in particular West Bank. But still,
okay.
Again, this is India. You should be, as Indian people, very proud of your country. You are a very big country. Yes. And when I was serving the United Nations, and India want to say something or to dig, I used to say to dig it is heal. We want this. India want this. Everyone, vast majority of the people is.
So like you mentioned, that India is pro the two-state solution. What is your perspective on it? Is it a bit too late for the two-state solution?
There is nothing called it.
Okay.
But still, the international community did not have the will to implement the two-state solution. The two-state solution it's not we are not creating the wheel when we talk about the two-state solution. Two-state solution was born in November 29, November 29, 1947, when the United Nations adopted the resolution 181. In this resolution, the United Nations, or what's so-called, anyone can find it, it's the partition plan of Palestine.
Yeah.
And I personally saw the maps, the original maps, in Dag Hammarskjöld library in the United Nations. It was Palestine. It was called Palestine at that time. The entire land is Palestine, and the partition plan of Palestine, which created the two-state solution, or I used to call it the birth certificate of the two-state solution, Resolution 181, November 29, 1947. So that we are not talking about something, we are not creating the wheel, but Israel is trying to say that it's a new invention. This is not a new invention. Two-state solution was there 78 years ago. And the same exact resolution that gave Israel the right to exist gave the Palestine state the right to exist at the same exact wording.
Yes. But is that, in your perspective, a solution today?
Absolutely. If there is a will, absolutely. We are seeking the two-state solution, and fortunately or unfortunately, it's yours. We, as a Palestinian, the indigenous people whom still own the title deeds, the official title deeds of 94% of the historical land of Palestine. We still own it. We still have it. It's in the Israeli archive. And even Israel is dealing with our property, my personal property, my father's property, my grandfather's property in Palestine with special law. Any one of you can search it, absentee property law.
Yeah. So
again, back to the two-state solution, we accept in the two-state solution to build our state, demilitarize state, in 22% of our historical land, Palestine. Is it fair? No, many is saying, no, it's not fair because you accept to build in 22%. But we accepted in the PLO, Palestine Liberation Organization, when we signed Oslo Accord, we accepted that Israel did not accept the two-state solution. But there is another two-state solution is still on the ground right now. Israel, the classical Israel that everyone, and the halakha, the religious Jewish state in the West Bank. There is another state for the Jewish religious state, the terrorist settler already created their state in West Bank. This is not our wording. This is the Israeli wording themselves.
You spoke about the Oslo Accord, right?
Yes.
The main conclusion of the Oslo Accord was that the final agreement should be resolved within 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah, but
1998.
Yes, but what were the specific elements that you feel that failed, and how does that failure affect the current situation of Gaza and the West Bank?
The current element is the Israeli occupation. Israel did not want to give up over his occupation, period. Israel want a peace, meanwhile want to occupy the Palestinian people. Israel want peace according to its circumstance. And peace for the vast majority of the Israelis is to expel the Palestinian people from their ancient historical land. This is the main point. This is the main problem. And to do so, they did not stop accusing us of being terrorists, so that we are terrorist people. And President Abbas himself, they accuse them of being terrorists, but not with a gun, terrorist diplomat.
Do you consider Hamas as a terrorist organization?
Do you consider, this is a very important question and very sensitive question. First and foremost, do you have a specific classification or identification for terror? Anyone can give us a classic. What about the Israeli occupation? If you were going to classify Hamas or Fatah, I'm going to tell you, President Abbas, my president, they classified him as a terrorist diplomat. The question is, if you were going to classify Hamas or Fatah or Abi in person as a terrorist man, what you going to classify the Israeli occupation? What you going to classify the British, when they issued the Balfour Declaration, in this declaration, notorious, despicable declaration, United Kingdom in 1917, with zero footprint in our homeland, with zero right, with zero historical right, with zero legal right, pledged our homeland, pledged it, gifted it to the Khazarian Jew. Is this terror or not terror? I'm asking you. So to accuse the people of just being terror because their occupier and the Western countries accusing them of being terror, we have nothing to say except we want to have a specific, agreed definition to terror. Then anyone met this definition, we should all call him a terror. But let me just remind you as Indian people, the great Bhagat Singh,
Yes.
yes, the great murderer Bhagat Singh, had been accused of being what? Terror. And conducted a terror act. Do you accept anyone to classify him as a terrorist?
He's not
As in,
classified.
no, as you will not, and you should not accept him, because the one who classified him as a terror or a terrorist man is the British colonization.
Yes.
The one who accused my president of being a terror diplomat is the Israeli occupation, and they accused me of being terrorist. This is for them as a terrorist meeting. I'm propagating propaganda. I'm a terrorist. I had been. All of this stuff is there. We need to have. We should came as international community to sit in the United Nations and to identify the terror. At that time, anyone will meet this identification. He should be classified as a terror. But resisting the Israeli occupation or any foreign occupation, according to the international law, and this is not our word, is not terror. It's a legitimate right. Let me just remind you, and you and your audience can check it. Two of the Israeli Prime Minister, Menachem Begin, 1977, and Ishaq Shamir, 1994, both of them, according to the United Kingdom, the godfather of Israel and the Israeli occupation at that time, both of them was classified as a wanted terrorist. This is in Google.
Yes.
And both of them became the Prime Minister of Israel. If there is someone, a state built in terror, it's Israel. If someone has been, if someone has been rewarded after a terror attacks, it's Israel. And this is not our wording. This is fact. This is history. But again, we did not have the chance to tell this story. Do you know how many terror attack, how many carnage, how many Palestinians had been killed even before the establishment of the State of Israel at the hands of the terror Jewish gangs, under the supreme or the auspice up under the leadership of both, again, Menachem Begin and Ishaq Shamir. Thousands of Palestinians have been. Do you know about this? And you will not know because the media will not. You know because you search. But the vast majority of people did not know this.
Yeah.
And will not know this because, again, media will not show us.
So within Palestine itself, Hamas and PA are two different political parties that are governing. Do you think that no unity between them is also a cause for the prolonging of the war?
I will going to borrow part of your history. Just 8 years, 9 years ago, there are two schools of thought when it came how to resist the British colonization. The great Mahatma Gandhi school of thought, non-violence, and the great Murder Bhagat Singh school of thought. Yes or not? Yes. Two schools of thought, 180%, 180 degree between the two school of thought.
So
I'm just telling you, just 100 years, 90 years, your history, you were there as Indian people. There are two schools of thought. One of those schools of thought is strongly believed by Bhagat Singh of resisting the British colonial by military means. and he paid for that in his life. And the other school of thought is Mahatma, the great leader Mahatma Gandhi. President Abbas is representing the Mahatma Gandhi school of thought. Part of the Palestinians still believe that the resistance, and this is according to the international law. We are not creating the we. Part of the Palestinian believe that only, or part of the resistance should be a military resistance. There is a rift between Fatah, Hamas, Palestinian Authority, and Hamas, between Gaza, unfortunately, and this is something likewise what happened in everywhere. I will not go to say X or Y country. Everywhere you will going to find, when it came to politics, there is more than different opinion. We had this different opinion. Unfortunately, there is a rift between the Palestinians. There is no unity yet, and we are working very hard under the chairmanship of President.
So, but what I want to understand is that there is no problem in having two different opinions. That are the international actors misusing this, there not being any unification between
the first ever one, which not misuse, intentionally using it and working very hard to make the rift more bigger is Israel. And the current fugitive from justice, the Israeli prime minister, who's wanted to the international law, to the ICC, Benjamin Netanyahu. He is the one who used to declare loud and declare. It's a declared position. Anyone want to prevent the two-state solution to a Palestinian to have a state, he should continue to maintain Hamas in Gaza. And the one who's responsible of funding Hamas in Gaza is, again, the current fugitive from justice, Benjamin Netanyahu. Fact, this is not a propaganda. You can find it. This is fact. So that he's still up today. He's refusing to have an internal investigation committee to come to investigate in Israel itself, to investigate why October 7th happened, because part of it is his responsibility, because he allowed Hamas, he entrenched Hamas by the Qatarian money. And this is, I'm not revealing a secret. All of this information is known information. He's the one who, because Qatar, and according to his request, even the Qatarian used to support Gaza, Hamas in Gaza, according to Israeli request, the current Israeli prime minister himself. And the money used to go through the cash, not the banking system. Do you know that? It's in Google. All of this information, it's published information. It's published. Anyone can search it, he will find it.
I want to move a little towards the West. When Trump came out with the Trump administration came up with the Gaza peace plan, they called it a historic diplomatic plan for which he should win Nobel Peace Prize. And in fact, he was also offered one by FIFA. What is the Palestinians and your perspective on this?
When it came to the, it's not peace plan. It is exact name, official name.
Yeah.
Comprehensive plan to end the conflict in Gaza. So it's not peace plan. First and foremost, because wording happening. Second, the great leader, the South African leader, you know him. Nelson Mandela, teach us very significant issue. We judge the people based on their attitudes towards our struggle. And with all due respect to everyone, of course, Mr. Trump, when he came first time in the White House, he acknowledged, recognized Jerusalem as the eternal capital of the Jewish people, utterly, completely against the international law. First, he closed our office, the PLO office in Washington. Third, he cut the fund from the hospital in East Jerusalem. Fourth, he removed the old consulate, which was more than 107 years before the establishment of the State of Israel, was there in East Jerusalem. He moved it he closed it and moved it to become part of the American embassy in the occupied Jerusalem. He cut the fund of the UNRWA, so that all of his attitude was utterly, completely against the Palestinian benefit itself. When he came with his plan, he did not discuss us. He did not consult us. But again, we accepted this plan, and we will comment in the three pieces. First and foremost, it might put an end to the carnage, to the daily massacres, to the life stream killing of the Palestinian people. Second, it might guarantee some food, so that my family, my personal family, will not going to stay with 1 or 2 days without food. And this was happened to my personal family. And we are in a good economic situation as a family. Put aside the vast majority of the Gazans, who is absolutely, utterly very poor people. Still, in this plan, we will commit under the pretext that it would guarantee that no more amputation legs surgery will went without anesthesia. Do you know that many of the surgery in Gaza was went without anesthesia, and we have videos to that, so that we will comment. But in the implementation, yet Israel is violating every single aspect of it. And you already mentioned that out of 600 plus trucks humanitarian aid, Israel is allowing only 100, 120, 90, something like this each day, which is very short. To gain a Nobel Prize or not Nobel Prize, we wish that he will bring a peace and implement the two-state solution and to gain the Nobel Prize. But to gain the Nobel Prize for
preparing the plan,
which is not, Israel is not applied or accepting it yet on the ground, I'm not pretty sure whether, I'm not the one who's, the one, or we are not the Palestinian, the one who's decided to whom it should go this piece of land.
When and how do
But let me just remind you also that even Menachem Begin, the terrorist, the wanted terrorist, the Israeli wanted terrorist, who became an Israeli prime minister, he also have Nobel Prize.
No,
Terrorist.
I want to understand that how do you think that this will come to an end? There are peace plans, there are ceasefire.
No. There is international law. Put aside peace plan or the comprehensive plan.
Is there an intervention required from somewhere?
The international community should stand strong and say that within the next month, we should end the Israeli occupation. To do so, we will going to use legal, diplomatic, peaceful, tested tools. We will going to boycott the Israeli occupation. Is it fair? We will going as international community to boycott the Israeli occupation. We will not supply Israel with any single bullet that will going to kill the Palestinian people. Period. We will not invest in the Israeli settlement. We will not going to fly to Israel as occupation power. We will not accept any ambassador of Israel to represent Israel as long as he is supporting the settlement, or as long as he is a settler. Period. There is many tools, peaceful, legitimate, tested tools that the international community, if it utilized it, if it used it, we will going to cut all the communication with Israeli occupation. We will not accept any single Israeli settler to enter our homeland. Period.
I do want to get your perspective on the violation done by Hamas in the ceasefire as well.
But who said that Hamas violated the ceasefire?
Oh, it was mentioned by Israel.
No, but Israel is accused. I told you, Israel is accusing President Abbas of
They also
terrorists.
refused to de-arm themselves to Israel.
Another ambiguous and malicious.
Please correct us.
Okay. When it came to the international law, and when we used to say ceasefire, I already explained myself, two armies fighting against each other. Disarming is another very. What do you mean by? Did Hamas or the Palestinian have tanks. Then the Palestinian have heavy weapons, arsenals, missiles, and air jet, and all of this stuff of military equipment. It's just the light Kalashnikov. Anyone can prove that the Palestinians have one single tank? Oh, so using this army, this means that they're gonna give you the impression that there is another army, there's another missiles, ballistic missiles, and it's not the truth. But again, who is the one is calling for disarming Hamas? Long time ago, it's the Palestinian Authority. When we use to say or to call for still and will continue to call for one security force, not army. We did not have army. One legitimate security force in West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza. One law and one authority. The one who again refused this, the one who entrenched Hamas rule in Gaza, the one who supported Hamas by the cash money, is again the fugitive from justice, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So when we used to call for one security force, he used to accept and to entrench Hamas to have this military weapons, light weapons. It's not military. I mean, it's not tanks or all this stuff. So that when they call for disarming Hamas, this is our request as a Palestinian Authority. And this should be the request of any single one. But the one who's used to refuse that is Israel. The question is, anyone know that Hamas have or own tanks? Tanks. Did you see?
There's no proof of them owning any.
It's not no. They didn't. They cannot. Israel cannot bring any single photo that Hamas have or the Palestinian have one single tank. We have nothing. But again, the media disarming the Hamas army tunnels. Let me just tell you something. When is the very last time that you heard the word tunnels? No. But it was removed from the media, from the discourse more than after the second month of the war. After the second month, I can challenge anyone to bring that the mainstream media get close to what's so-called the tunnels. I'm gonna tell you why. Because tunnels, they justify part of the war because of the tunnels. Then and they used to say that Hamas in the tunnels. What if Hamas in the tunnels? What is the justification of killing the innocent Palestinian on the surface? So they removed utterly. I want you to back. You as a journalist, and everyone of you, of course. Anyone hear about the tunnels for more than 2 years? It was completely removed. There is nothing called tunnels. So that to justify killing 170,000 Palestinians, and all of them is innocent. And when I say all of them is innocent, because all the names is already declared. Yeah. Could Israel point out its finger and say X and Y is not innocent?
Can you tell me what your message would be for the governments that say that civilians' life lost are unfortunate but not unavoidable?
Indeed, why civilian life lost? Because you mentioned two parts of it. The first part we all agree on it, and any human being did not agree on it should be went to hell. To hell, I mean to the IC, to the International Criminal Court. But the other part is unavoidable. It's not true. They are justifying the killing of the Palestinians. What do you mean by it's unavoidable? When the Israeli occupation, just less than 3 weeks, killed 14 persons of my family, and I can list all of their names. 9 of them is children. None of them is belong to any military faction or Hamas and all of this stuff. How come? When they killed the rescue team And we have videos to that.
Yeah.
What do you mean by unavoidable? In Gaza, unavoidable, but the killing of the Palestinian in West Bank, the children, what do you mean by unavoidable? When they used to kill the Palestinian, Muhammad al-Tamimi, I know his family and his father. Muhammad al-Tamimi was killed, his name, by purpose for their social media. What do you mean by unavoidable? What do you mean by avoidable when they used to kill them for their social media fun? And we have videos. We have videos. What do you mean it's unavoidable when he used to take his pistol and to kill him directly and shoot him from zero point? What do you mean unavoidable? It's not true, but they want to justify the killing. Likewise, one of the Western countries' foreign minister at that time, when she said that Hamas is using the Palestinian people as a human shield, according to the international law, according to the all reports that came from the United Nations Human Rights Council, and other very respected, well-respected organizations. There is zero proof that anyone had been of the Palestinian used as a human shield at all. But there is another proof that yes, the Palestinian had been used as a human shield, and we have videos and photos. Israel used the Palestinian in Gaza during this war and before this war, from the very first Intifada. Israel used to use the Palestinian as a human shield. We have photos. We have videos. This is written even in the Israeli media. There are investigations among the Israeli army prove that yes, the Palestinian in Gaza had been used as a human shield by the Israeli army, and zero evidence that anyone or any military faction in Gaza used any single Palestinian as a human shield. But again, yes, they want to justify. How come they were going to justify sending Israel or supplying Israel by all of these devastating military weapons and all of this stuff without saying there is a reason behind that? Hamas using the Palestinian as a human shield, terrorist organization, and all of this stuff. There is a complicity. Not only a complicity. In many parts of the world, it was not complicity. It's completely sharing. It's completely they became part of this war against the Palestinians. $31.7 billion the support that came to Israel by America. Is this complicity or full sharing? All the weapons, all the heavy weapons that killed the Palestinians, American weapons. I'm not revealing a secret. America alone used this in the Security Council, the veto, 6 times.
Yes.
To make sure the carnages continue. Unavoidable, it's not true. What do you mean by unavoidable?
So before I go further, I do want to ask you this one question. Do you condemn what Hamas did on October 7th?
I condemn many things. But you cannot.
Yes.
This is the point. This is the point. This is the point. When you said condemn Hamas, this means that you start measuring the history from October 7th. But I have a long list to condemn, and allow me to start by condemning the United Kingdom for issuing the Balfour Declaration. Again, do you want me to repeat it? United Kingdom is the first ever one that should be condemned for issuing the Balfour Declaration. United Kingdom should be condemned for opening the gates when they became the mandatory power of Palestine, for opening all the gates of Palestine for the illegal immigration of the Khazarian Jew, the European Jew, to Palestine. United Kingdom should be condemned because they demilitarized us as a Palestinian. They used to hang the Palestinian people for a single, not rifle, a bullet. Meanwhile, Israel, or the Jewish at that time, used to be militarized to the teeth. This is how we should tackle the issue, but to tackle the issue from a very single point. But the other question, again, do you condemn Hamas? And do you condemn the Israeli occupation? Do you condemn the killing of XY, tens of thousands of acts? Do you condemn the killing of the innocent Palestinians, 70,000 Palestinians whom was killed? We have nothing or we will not hesitate to condemn, but it should be in its historical background. There should be an incubator. And I strongly saying that, yes, I'm the first ever one to start condemning. But first and foremost, the United Kingdom. And they have nothing. No one should silence us as a Palestinian to dig and to start by the root of the problem, but to just to isolate one miscalculated issue and to make sure that this is the only thing that we should concentrate. I will not allow any man to poison my conscience as I'm a Palestinian and rational, not only Palestinian, rational. I'm rational. I will not allow anyone to zionize my consciences. Absolutely. Yes, I condemn, but there is a list of issues that should be condemned and thousands of issues.
Why aren't international journalists now allowed in Gaza? Is there any work going on to make that happen again?
You mean the media?
Yes, the media.
It's not all. Israel is refusing to allow any single camera to enter Gaza. Even the camera, your devices, the sophisticated devices, is not entering them. But I want you to remind you also that Israel killed more than 250 journalists in Gaza by purpose, by intention, and they meant it. They want everyone not to know what happened in Gaza.
From an international perspective, do you think that Germany's reconstruction that they did post the World War II can provide any lessons for Gaza?
Indeed, every single place in the world have its own specialty. But again, because what you are saying, that this is the same exact wording that, again, the fugitive from justice, the Israeli Prime Minister, when he said we did radicalize Germany, the comparison is according to him, of course, it's not true. The comparison is not fair at all. The one who should be radicalized is the Israeli society itself, and we should stand strong to say that, not only as a Palestinian but as international community, the one who need a rehabilitation, need to again de-radicalize is the Israeli society itself, and that not the Palestinian people, the one who should believe or did not believe of the peace itself, they should become forced to believe in the peace or work. We should, as international community, work hard to rehabilitate them so that they became believe of the peace. The one who believe that they are the God chosen people, which is I did not know yet. They did not told us at least yet. Chose the God chose them for what? I'm not pretty sure, except if he chose them to kill the Palestinian people. Those who is believing that they are the God chosen people should stop thinking like this, because this is the most radical thinking or thought that cause all the evil that not only as a Palestinian, we in the Middle East facing.
Earlier, you said that the $57 billion that is required for the reconstruction, a part of it will be given by EU, right?
We look forward to that the EU and the other countries.
Okay. But in the beginning, there were a lot of supplies that were provided by Germany specifically to Israel during the war.
What type of supply?
There were arms.
Absolutely, until today.
And money.
No, and up to today, of course, not only. And today, yesterday, Germany was supporting, is not only Germany, United Kingdom, and many European countries supporting Israel with the military.
But they've also now recognized Palestine as a state.
Part of them, but yes, Germany not yet.
No. Part of them, like UK has, France did.
Yes.
So, I mean, in this toss that they're doing right now, do you think that they're trying to play in both the courts?
I will not go in, because they should be balanced by the end of the day. But to be balanced, it's time again to take some measures, very harsh measures against the Israeli occupation, and to stop the double standard as European country. And it's not fair to talk about 30,000 plus different type of sanctions. They took it against Russia and zero sanctions against Israel. Just 2 days ago, they frozen $210 billion of the Russian assets and the Russian money in Europe, but zero assets or zero act. They did not take any act like this, and towards the Israeli occupation. Many of the European countries, companies are still investing hardly in the Israeli settlement. So that, again, there is much for the international community, in particular Europe, to do to put an end to the Israeli occupation. And all of these issues should be or can be legal, legitimate, tested, and all of this stuff. Yet they did not.
In your perspective, what is the future of the Palestinian youth that have been witnessing this devastation that's going on for years?
The entire Palestinian society, whether it is elderly person, youth, they need a rehabilitation. Not only, but many of them physical rehabilitation, but the mental rehabilitation. We all, the Palestinian, already endured this type of a trauma with different level, of course. So that, but the Palestinian, likewise everyone worldwide, likewise you all here, you deserve then to have, or it's your right to have a very safe future. Not only the Palestinian, Israeli, Palestinian, everyone should have a secure future, and to do so, and he deserves a secure future. To do so, again, the international community should work hard to abide by the international law. The Palestinian people, we are well-educated people. 97.3% is the literacy rate in Palestine. This is very important. The one who led the team in NASA itself to create the object that fly to Mars is a Palestinian engineer. We are the Palestinian. Once we will become free, we will do something very significant, not only for our society. I'm pretty sure that we will do something very significant. You're gonna find hundreds of I will say not only 100, thousands of Palestinian, very brilliant Palestinian whom is deeply shared there, because they are well-educated people. They did many very significant things all over the world. So that we will, once we will become free, once we have our freedom as a Palestinian society, we will do something very significant. I'm pretty sure of that, because we are a very strong people, very resilient people. I personally came from a refugee camp, and I'm here stand or sit in front of you and in front of all your respected audience as ambassador of the state of Palestine. Well educated. I have a BA, master degree in economy, professional diploma in marketing, the BMBA, and many other issues. We are well-educated people, and we can do something very significant.
Is there any message you'd like to give to our audience?
To your audience?
Yes.
Thank you so much, of course, for watching us today. One very important thing, listen to us, not more than us. That gave us the chance to tell our story. We, the Palestinian, long time ago, did not have the chance to appear in the screens to tell our story. There is much to tell you, and I will be more than happy to welcome the whole entire India, of course, through the Zoom meetings, and all the journalists from all over India, of course, to meet me and to listen to me. And another very important issue, we are ready to answer every single question, even the question that will be prepared by Israel and the Israeli ambassador here in India himself.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure.
It was a pleasure.
Sure. Thank you so much.